Thank you very much. Well, China continuing to saber rattle. Our next guest writes in the Wall Street Journal, quote, Mr. Xi's China is fueled by a dangerous mix of strength and weakness. Faced with profound economic, demographic, and strategic problems, it will be tempted to use its burgeoning military powers to transform the existing order while it still has the opportunity. Let's hear more from American Enterprise Institute's Michael Beckley. Michael, this was an extraordinary article, really extraordinary piece in the Wall Street Journal. I actually read it twice. It was so good. But let's deal with the first part of that, the one that I just mentioned, that it's economically weak now, particularly after the pandemic. It's still having these economic lockdowns that are hurting the economy. The world recession is going to affect it even more, but it is militarily at its peak, and that's a very dangerous combination.
Absolutely. So China's coming off about a 10-year period of churning out warships and ammunition at a rate we haven't seen from any countries since World War II. And at the same time, the United States and Taiwan have been pretty slow about spreading out their forces, making them more resilient. So China has a window of opportunity where it could carry out a Pearl Harbor-style strike on American bases on Okinawa and pulverize Taiwanese forces before they get off the ground. On the other hand, by the 2030s, both the U.S. and Taiwan have ambitious plans to revamp their militaries. And by that point, China will have fallen off of a demographic cliff. It's going to lose 70 million working age adults between now and the early 2030s, gain 120 million senior citizens, and its economy, which is already slowed to a crawl now, is going to be undermined by severe debt, a lack of productivity, and there could be a leadership transition because Xi Jinping will be in his 80s.
Well, there's so much to chew on in what you just said. Let me just pick one little piece of it that I think is the most frightening for Americans. Of course, most people weren't around in 1941, but at a time when we were pushing economically against Imperial Japan, that's when they decided to go after Pearl Harbor, another base in the Pacific. Is it conceivable, you think, that China would actually choose to pick on either Guam or Okinawa, one of our big bases where we have so many troops concentrated?
Well, China literally has missiles that they call the Guam killers that they want to use to hit those bases early and hard in a war, because they know if it does come to war, their only chance of victory is to knock out as many U.S. forces early in the crisis as possible. And I think you're right to bring up the Imperial Japan analogy. Hopefully, that is the most catastrophic scenario where a rising power reacts against a dominant power trying to choke out its economy by just starting a massive war. But I think you can't rule it out in China's case, because China believes that there are lost Chinese territories that Xi Jinping has pretty much made clear he intends to take back on his watch. And there aren't peaceful means to do that, given that the Taiwanese people absolutely do not want to reunify with the mainland.
Now, explain for us the consequences, assuming that China doesn't hit our military bases, but that focuses its attention on either an invasion or a blockade of Taiwan that would lead to it taking over the island. How would that affect our world economy?
Well, I think, and keep in mind, Taiwan is a major economy. It's in the top 20. And in terms of high technology, the semiconductors, the powerful computer chips on, for example, the computer I'm speaking to you on right now, many of those are manufactured in Taiwan. So global supply chains for technology would collapse. And let's be honest, I really think that if there is either an invasion, certainly if there's an invasion or even a blockade, the United States is almost surely going to get involved militarily, probably Japan too. And so the nightmare scenario we imagine for the crisis in Ukraine right now, direct clashes between two nuclear-armed great powers, would be the reality basically from day one of this war. You can imagine how that would easily escalate because either side that feels like it's losing might be tempted to escalate, maybe by using low-yield nuclear weapons or by expanding the conflict horizontally to other theaters in order to prevent going down from defeat.
Michael, before you go, I just want to, is it too late to do something, to somehow fortify Taiwan or the Taiwan Strait to make it too hard for China to invade?
It's not too late. The Pentagon, many defense experts have all agreed on a basic strategy of essentially laying down a high-tech minefield around Taiwan, using lots of simple shooters and sensors to kind of do what the Ukrainians have done to the Russian military. It's just with precision-guided missiles, it's actually easy to destroy large massed forces of the kind China would need to blockade or invade Taiwan. It's just a matter of urgency and procuring those weapon systems and deploying them before it's too late.
Well, again, it's sobering stuff that you're delivering, but we need to hear it, and we need to plan in some way for what might happen. Michael Beckley, great stuff. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.